Two experts at the United Nations say the atrocities committed by Hamas on October 7th may be considered crimes against humanity. The experts cited the growing evidence of sexual violence that occurred in Israel that day, as well as the brutality of the attacks, calling it, quote, particularly harrowing. In a statement, they called for a full accountability for the alleged crimes, as well as a ceasefire in the war in Gaza. Joining us now, the head of the Southern Operations for the nonprofit Emergency Response Team, Zaka, Yossi Landauer. He's one of the first humanitarian workers to witness the devastation of the October 7th attack. And I am reading what you have seen, and I am praying for you, as well as want to ask you, what do you think the hope is for the fate of the remaining hostages?
First of all, good morning, and thank you for hosting. Our hearts going for the hostages and for the families. We see them, we meet them every day, and we talk to them every day. Unfortunately, we're still doing some work in the houses of those kibbutzim that they were murdered, and part of the family were hostage, were taken, and we are there on a daily basis, and we face them, we see them. Our heart goes out for them, and we hope for the best.
Given what you have seen, especially in the days after October 7th, how do you handle discussions with the families about the potential of their coming home, what state they may be in, or potentially them never coming home?
Well, the faith in God, that's what keeps us, and we have to believe that nothing has been done by itself, and we give them the courage and we give them their heroes, because as we know, they saved thousands of people because of their courage. They saved, because we know the plans was for those Hamas terrorists on October 7th to come and invade more and more cities and kill thousands of people. So they were stopped by those kibbutz, or by those festival, the people of the festival, of the victims of the festival, and by the kibbutz. So we look at them as heroes, and as they, because of them, a lot of people were saved.
Yossi, can you explain your role as emergency responder on October the 7th, and why you think 3 months on it's important to carry on talking from your perspective about what you saw on that day?
I'm joining a volunteer unit. It's called Zaka. Zaka is the definition in Hebrew, but it's the English definition is for it to identify every unnatural death. And that's a team that was established in 1989 when the terrorist attacks started in Israel, and we knew the importance of correct burial and identifying the families, identifying the victims, to respect the remains and to respect the families. And that shows a difference between us and the Hamas terrorists, because we know and we heard that when young Hamas terrorist called his father and mother and telling them that he killed 10 Jews, and they were only encouraging him that it's not enough. And by us, the opposite, we do the opposite. We try to respect the remains and the families. And when we hear that, and unfortunately that we have still over 30 unidentified victims that cannot be identified, and every time and every day that we have someone identified, we just sing and we are happy now because this is a respect for the family and respect for the remains, for the victims. That's the difference. And for me, to go out to the world and show the difference, and we have nothing against Muslims, not anybody. We have in our team 3,000 people. Part of them is Muslims, Arabs, Druze, Christians. We have everybody. It's like the government, like Israel has in the government, and the police and the IDF. They have everything, and we have nothing. But like the ISIS were condemned in the world, the same thing. Hamas has to be condemned, and they have to be demolished. There's no way that they have, because for us as a first responder, when we came in and we saw what they did to our brothers and sisters, and not only to our brothers and sisters, but they did it to Americans, they did it to Thailands, they did it to everybody, and we couldn't come home for 6 weeks. My volunteers, our volunteers, couldn't come home and hug the children and just look at the children in the home. Sorry.
No, just thank you so much for bearing witness. The strength that it takes to do what you and your organization do to help all of these innocent men and women, you know, receive the dignified final burial that they deserve. You know, my heart just goes out to you, and the world owes you a great debt for traumatizing yourself so that they get to the dignity that they deserve. What do you have to say? What do you want the world to know about the nature of the enemy, of this enemy, of Hamas, the terrorist, after what you've seen?
I'll tell you that I met a 92-year-old Holocaust survivor. Like 2 weeks in the war, I went to meet him, and I showed him some of my images, the pictures that we took, and I explained them. He started to cry, and he said he was working with Dr. Mengele by the Holocaust, and he saw the testing on the people, and he said, what you saw, it wasn't in the Holocaust. It was much more. And I don't want to expose that to the public, because I feel that will not be, it's the correct honor for the families or for the victims to tell them. But I can tell you, when we went into houses, that entire families were tortured and cut off body parts. And we, as volunteers, as parents, as a father of children, and that's our goal in life, to raise a normal family, has to debate to see. Our debate was if the parents saw how the children were tortured, or the children saw how the father was tortured. And we felt, because the bodies were talking to us, and this is the only time, 33 years in my mission, my job, my mission, were all over the world. We go and we respect every place. We were in Haiti, we're in Turkey. I can say 7.5 months ago, I came back from Turkey, the earthquake, and we saved 19 Muslims. We saved their lives. And not talking about the hundreds that we respected the remains, but lives we saved 100. And when we get now, and those Muslims right in Turkey, they're against us. For why? For nothing. I have no idea why. We just came over there to do them goods. And when I come on a scene in October 7, going to a car and seeing the father and the mother, the parents killed in the back. They were killed in the back, and a small child is behind the seat and crying. That was 4 hours after they were murdered. She was still hiding, and she's just asking me if I'm from the friendly guys. And she started to cry. And I have grandchildren the same age. What I had to do is just close her eyes. She shouldn't see her parents dead, and hand her over to some police officer to give them for the family, because she was alone, and she stayed alone.
God bless you. The world and that child is lucky you were there. Thank you.
Absolutely. Head of Southern Operations for Israel's nonprofit emergency response team, Zaka, Yossi Landau, thank you.
Thank you.